Hello, YouTube. It's Paul coming at you. Just popping on. Give a brief recap and some thoughts on the World Junior Championships. For those of you who don't know or don't know what it is, it's basically basically a tournament for mostly 18, 19 year olds. Sometimes a 16-year-old gets in it for World Junior age uh, hockey players, and 10 of the best teams from around the world. Due to world events, Russia was excluded this go around, so Latvia snuck in and actually had a little bit of an upset roll. But yeah, it was. I had a chance this weekend to go to the bronze and gold medal game, and it's a good time. You see some NHL prospects, or in the case of Connor Bedard, he's going to be the projected number one overall draft pick. He played for Team Canada. Um, it was, it's been a bucket list thing that I've wanted to do ever since I first discovered the tournament in like the early 1990s. Is to go to some medal games, and they're in my backyard, and tickets were cheap, and yeah, it was a good time. I went to the bronze medal game, which was earlier in the day, and it was Czech versus or Czechia, as we're supposed to call it now, versus Sweden, and got to see some NHL prospects. Lysell for the Bruins, I believe. He had a brilliant goal end-to-end rush wraparound to open the game up versus Czechia, and Czechia had a couple of players that are high draft picks or highly ranked prospects, and as well as Sweden, but they weren't as noticeable. The Swedish goalie, he's supposed to be a good one. It's kind of weird watching him in warm up. If I had a goalie maybe not make a save the way he did in the warm up, I'd be a little nervous. But yeah, it was a good game. The Swedes won 3-1. A little silliness at the end of the game where everybody grabbed somebody and said, "Here, smell my glove," and but yeah, and then so like in Edmonton, it was plus 30. So I went in shorts and a t-shirt. It was a little chilly in the rink because they're trying to keep the ice good, and so I went looking for a Team Canada jersey at the on the concourse, and they were sold out of anything in my size, and I'm not a medium guy at all by any stretch of the imagination. So went out, grabbed my Oilers hoodie from my SUV there, and went back in for the Canada game, and it was a fun game. Um, you know, it's over the years, the expectation is that Team Canada will play for gold, and this year, I mean, the reason the tournament's being held now is because the tournament, which usually gets played after Christmas and around New Year's, got shut down because Omicron was sweeping through, and they decided instead of scrapping the tournament altogether, they'd just see if they could do it this summer. Sort of hurt attendance. You watch the games, and the the attendance wasn't there. The gold medal game was sold out for all the seats that they had available, but the bronze medal game, I doubt there was 1,000 people in the rink. But yeah, so you get to the gold medal game, Canada, Finland, and a bunch of prospects and exciting players. And the funny thing is, like, because the tournament was held now, there were lots of players where their NHL teams basically said, nah, training camp's just right around the corner. Maybe you sit this one out. And luckily for Team Canada, their Mason McTavish, he's going to be. Looks like he could be a good one. Um, he plays for, or he's a prospect for Anaheim. But like this past year, he started. He played junior, and then he was at the World Juniors. That got canceled, and then when the Olympic men's teams got canceled, he got selected to go to China, and so he played in the Olympics. I believe he played in the. He started last year off with Anaheim, and then this year, like his team went to the Memorial Cup, which is the tournament at the end of the year for the champions of the 3 Canadian junior leagues, as well as the host team, and credited himself well there. His team won the OHL championships, but he's just a gritty player. And that's before we get into the game. Canada went up 2-0, and if you have a chance, look up Mason McTavish, the save. They were up 2-0. They had a bunch of power plays, but they didn't score on them, so they didn't bury Finland. And sure enough, in the third period, Finland came back, tied the game, and sent it to overtime. So here these kids are. They get to play their lifelong dream because, like everybody else, they watch the World Junior Tournament when you're growing up, and you imagine, hey, I'm gonna be a teenager and be the focus of the country, and hopefully play for a gold medal. And so get to the overtime, and international rules, your overtime, even in a gold medal, is 3-on-3. Not a big fan of that. It made for a very entertaining 3.5 minutes, but I was 4 rows back behind the Canada net, and McTavish basically coughed the puck up. And from where I was sitting, it looked like he coughed the puck up, and it was going into the net. He's whacking away at it. Connor Bedard, watching the replay, made a brilliant defensive play to tie up the Finn that was coming crashing after the puck. And basically, you think, oh, sorry, my allergies are just kicking up. But yeah, you're thinking, oh, it was kind of like watching The Matrix, like watching the puck rotate in slow motion as it bounced toward the empty net, and the goalie was down and out. He tried to make a save, and it was a crazy play, and he stopped the puck on the goal line, and a minute later, Canadian Columbus Blue Jacket prospect, he scored the game winner in overtime. But and it's fun to think, like, this tournament, it's fairly important in Canada, as far as like a hockey event. Like, a lot of kids tune into it and whatnot, and I know for myself, like when I was a teenager, um, you know, my favorite player from Team Canada, those Team Canada games, was Todd Harvey. And he wasn't an MVP like Mason McTavish, but he was definitely impactful. The '94 tournament, and then in '95 he was the captain of the team, and they won gold both years. But that's the one thing about the tournament. Like, if I say to you Todd Harvey and you go, who? I'm not really surprised. But back then, like, he was one of my favorite players. Like, he stepped up and rose to the occasion on the national stage, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I have some cool memories of Todd Harvey at the one tournament, and then again at the next. And when you're younger, you follow the players and get their cards, and you hope that they do well. But it's one of those things like you never know. Like maybe when they get to the NHL or whatever leagues after, or they might not get the chances or just can't translate it or rise to the occasion. So, but I have some fun cards. I mean, the autographed in the screw down. I mean, this tells you how old this is, as well as one of my personal favorite, the Leaf Limited World Junior insert. And this is extremely limited at being one of 5,000. So yeah, so from what I've seen on Instagram and Facebook is that there's a lot of collectors that are chasing Mason McTavish, as well as um, uh, Johnson, I think, was the guy that scored the gold medal goal. Ridley Gregg, he's an Ottawa prospect. He had a great tournament until he got injured, and it's a fun part of the hobby. Like, so there you go. So yeah, Team Canada won. Here's some fun cards of my Team Canada World Juniors, and just thought I'd pop in and show them off and ramble a bit about the World Juniors and my experiences. And was lucky enough to be at the game and cross off a bucket list item. And if you get a chance to watch the replay, I know this is going on kind of long, but somewhere during the third period, I thought it sounded like "refs, you suck," and I didn't realize it until I saw a tweet about it. But it was it was Matthews sucks, because there was a guy in an Austin Matthews jersey. We're in Edmonton, and we're quite protective of McDavid and his role, and very bitter towards Toronto Maple Leafs and all their silliness. And so, anyways, the crowd started chanting "Matthews sucks," and I'm like, I didn't understand it until they showed him on the big screen, and everybody started booing, and so now he had 14,000 people booing him. This one guy. So, but yeah, fun memories, good times, and just thought I'd share that with you. So yeah, as Ed Wesker Griff says, get amongst it, y'all, and we'll talk to you again.